Hi, welcome to Free Spirit. So this morning I wanted to do a Mercury retrograde reading and get advice from Spirit on how we can get through this period, because you may even be feeling this already, because I know for sure I am. Everything that you try, it's all these brick walls or all these U-turns. Everything is having to do over or ending, or it's just, I'm in a huge shadow period of this Mercury retrograde already, and I don't know if everybody else is experiencing it. So I was like, oh gosh, this Mercury retrograde is supposed to be starting in a couple of days and lasting for 3 weeks in November. So I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I need advice. I need advice. What card should I use? What card should I use? And all of a sudden, the spirit message came through, and I quickly wrote it all down. So I'm going to put it in the description box below. And I was led to just pull the first card from the Divine Flow deck, which I'll let you know the deck that I'm use this card from is Divine Flow, Opening to Higher Dimensions from Cecilia Cifuentes. Beautiful deck. But okay, so instead of doing a reading, I got the whole message from Spirit. And this is for the Mercury retrograde that you may be feeling right now, even though it hasn't legitimately started yet, and it's going to last for the next couple of weeks. And it says, go with the U-turns with trust and patience. Don't be discouraged by U-turns. Go with the U-turns with trust and patience, especially now during this Mercury retrograde. And this is the whole spirit message. So here we are, it's Mercury retrograde season, which may explain a lot, but regardless, U-turns will be happening. Don't be discouraged. Don't be thrown. Things may abruptly end now. You may have to go back and have do-overs. Have patience through them. Lick your wounds through them. Be kind to yourself. Stand up for yourself. And somewhere in there, know and trust these U-turns are for you in some way. Keep your eyes and heart on what's most important and on the bigger picture now. Don't sweat the small stuff. It really is small stuff. If things are not happening as you like now, know there is a bigger reason why to it. Maybe it's not meant for you right now. Maybe it never was. Maybe this U-turn is steering you in another direction, and one that will make much more sense later on. Whatever is happening now, let whatever you are feeling be overrun with trust. Trust what's happening. Trust that it will all work out in ways you can't even see right now. Trust that whatever you think should have been isn't for a bigger reason that makes much more divine sense. It's all trust. Trust and patience. Trust and patience. Breathe that in no matter what. Let yourself believe that whatever U-turns are happening are actually turns for you in some way. Will make it much better and easier to make the turns. And it's a time to make the turns. They may come suddenly without warning. They may surprise you, but breathe into it. Don't fight it. Just hold on to your trust and patience and just make the U-turn. These U-turns are moving you into another position, to another place. Trust the U-turns now. Make the U-turns now. Go with the U-turns now. And go with the U-turns with trust and patience. And they kept saying, keep holding on to trust and patience, and you will make all the U-turns much more easier and smoother for you right now. Breathe, have trust and patience, and make that U-turn. So that was the whole spirit message, and quite honestly, it fed me more than any reading or message I could do. And this first card that came out of the deck of the Divine Flow, it's literally of a butterfly, Divine Flow, and the message is change, which is, all about making those turns, right? Change, and the divine potential is waves of divine flow bring me gifts from heaven and upgrade my life. Accepting change is to accept enlightenment, and the potential obstacles are refusing change is to refuse progress. And the divine perspective to hold on to is, I love to change, and I now let my life change for the better. So whatever U-turns or any changes that are happening in this Mercury retrograde, go with it, breathing, trust, and patience, and just keep saying to yourself, I love to change, and I know I now let my life change for the better. And don't refuse the U-turns. Just like they said, the potential obstacles are to refuse changes, to refuse progress. And sometimes these U-turns, especially in a Mercury retrograde, is divine correction in some way. So maybe it's a shifting, it's a U-turn, you have to turn around, you were going one direction, they want you to shift to another direction. That could possibly be it. It could just be Mercury retrograde, there are do-overs, so you have to go back and redo something, go with it. There's a lot of shifting around, and there's a lot of new cycles coming in. So maybe you were charting off on a particular course and it really isn't the right course, or you needed to shift and do a UE to the right or to the left. You're going to be finding this happening. If you're not feeling it already with the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, then this is a preemptive spirit message to say whatever happens, big or small. And a lot of this is smaller stuff. This is not dire things, but it could be irritating things. It could be challenging things. It could be challenging to your patience, just that. It could be bigger things having to do with your life purpose or what you're going for, or work-wise. It could be relationships. But whatever is happening, and whenever twists or turns, they're saying don't fight it and just go with it and hold on to trust and patience. And they gave me the image of if you're driving on a road, literally about you have to do an abrupt U-turn. It's like hold on to cursing and getting angry and or overly frustrated. It's just breathe, hold on to the wheel with trust and patience, and just make that U-turn. It's like release all the extra emotion of it. And this is really trying for me because I don't have much patience. And yes, I trust, but I find everything very irritating, especially when you have an idea of what path you're on, or you're trying to get from A to B, and it's all these U-turns, and you're going to find this. So I think that for some who are in the shadow period like I am, you're experiencing this already, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing this already. Some of you may be listening and being like, I don't have a clue of what she's talking about yet. And in this week of Mercury retrograde, there will be things that are going to be irritating. They're going to be frustrating. You're going to have to do these UEs, like a U-turn. I call them UEs. And just have a bigger picture in mind that not to get overly irritated or frustrated. It's a moment in time. Keep the bigger picture in mind. So you do the U-turn. Hold on with trust and patience. And they just kept saying, breathe in trust and patience. So if there is a situation, breathe in trust and patience, make the U-turn. It's a time to go with the flow, go with the U-turns. That's really the message that's coming. Like, don't fight it. Just go with the U-turn with trust and patience. So this has been my spirit message for the Mercury retrograde. I'll put the spirit message down below in the description box. This already bathed me with releasing a lot of frustration, and you get like angry, hurt, frustrated. It's like, it's amazing what these things can bring up in you. Because you just want things to flow and be easy. And so this could really test our patience and test our trust in Mercury retrograde periods, which quite honestly, when this message came out, I didn't even realize at first it was Mercury retrograde yet, because I knew it was November. I didn't realize it's literally starting in a couple of days. And also makes sense. There's always a shadow period right before Mercury goes retrograde. And so that could really be affecting things now too. So I wanted to share this message because it immediately bathed me with the right perspective, just to hold on to trust and patience and make that U-turn. That's it. Just make the U-turn. There's nowhere else to go. It's like a forced U-turn when you didn't want to make one, is the feeling, and all that it brings up when you have to be forced to do something you don't want to do, or, that wasn't your idea. Yeah, so go make those U-turns and hold on to patience and trust. Wish you the best in the Mercury retrograde. See you on the other side. And I guess this is advice to make those U-turns much easier and smoother for us, just to breathe in trust and patience and make that U-turn. Take care. Bye-bye.